great. It's not working. Oh, here's the hydraulics work. But we'll have to go to the old school winch remote. Gotta plug it in. Too cold today. Howdy YouTube. Happy Thanksgiving. It's actually Black Friday today, but I don't forget Thanksgiving. I'm not one of those that jump straight into Christmas. My wife is. She jumps in the day after Halloween, if not the day before. So she's all about that Christmas spirit. But today brings up a good point. It is cold. It's about 19 degrees here where I'm at. And to be honest, it's not as bad as it's gonna get. It's gonna get way worse. Last year I was dropping dumpsters in like negative 19 degrees with the wind chill. So it gets cold here. And so some of you down south, you don't have to worry about this. You're always running dumpsters. Probably the lowest it ever gets is, 50, 60 degrees. That must be nice. Well, over here, it's a little different. So during the week, I'm running about 12 dumpsters a week on average. I also have noticed that this year, so last year I was it was still a little bit of my side hustle. This year I'm a little, I'm pretty much all in. I've got another job. I'm a mortgage lender and I've got rental property that I take care of, but at this point I'd say I'm 90% dumpster guy. But on what I've noticed is, since I have more inventory, I've got more dumpsters, I'm turning less people away. So last year, I probably only, this time of year until February, I might have only done 3 a week. Right now, I'm still averaging about 6 to 8. Last year, or actually about 2 weeks ago, I still had my best week. I think it was like 13 or 14 dumpsters, and not just in the amount, how much and how expensive the dumpsters were. It was one of my best weeks. So, and I never expected to get that in November. So a lot of people ask, does it slow down so much that you can't, you can't afford to do it? You have to tap out. For me personally, right now, no. But it is going to get cold, and I will expect that at some point, I might be cut in half. Instead of doing, 10 to 12 a week, I might be doing, 4 to 6. And to be honest, for me, it's going to be a little bit of a relief because I'm always running. When it's 12 dumpsters a week, it doesn't sound like much, but it ends up adding up. It eats into your time, and I like my time. It gives me a time to do some maintenance on my truck, some maintenance on my trailer, some maintenance on my properties. It just gives me a lot of time to do stuff. But a lot of guys are like looking for other hustles. And I mean, I probably will too. I'll get to the point where I've caught up on everything I need to catch up on, and I'm gonna want to like do something else. So one thing I would definitely suggest is if you have, if this is your full-time or you're trying to make it your full-time, be prepared for a slower winter if you have a climate difference, because the winters do slow down. You're not going to be completely dumpsterless. Honestly, everybody needs dumpsters, whether it's cold or hot. When things happen, people need them. So don't fret if you're doing well in your advertising, you're pushing, your brand awareness is good in your area. People are still going to call you. But make sure you're doing those things year round. I would just say have a hustle ready. I saw some snow plows for sale that fit my truck, and I definitely thought about it because, I mean, I know some guys that make what they do in a year in a couple months plowing snow around here, but that's also dependent on the weather. And I'm not like one of those that wants to really do that. Plus, I am somebody who is very hyper concerned with how much time I'm putting into something. I don't like to invest time to make money. I like to invest in ideas and items that I can rent, things that I can do without actually having to spend my time doing them. Snow plowing is awesome though if you just want hard cash and you're just like, oh, I need money so I can feed it into this, because that's what dumpsters is to me. I'm using dumpsters to feed into my real estate. But if dumpsters is your main income and you're not investing in something else, you may need to find something to supplement that income in the wintertime. So again, snow plowing is a big thing. I'm looking into doing skidsters to rent out. Wintertime, not a lot of people are going to be using them, but it's just something else throughout the rest of the year. I'd be hoarding your money a little bit in those 3 or 4 months leading up to the cold season, because you need to expect that once it slows down, money slows down, you slow down. Last thing you want to do is be absolutely broke right before Christmas and still have 2 or 3 months before it warms up. So keep that in mind. Some other things, I've seen guys start to focus more on less long-term rentals, and they do more of like weekly pickups for some people. I'm not into that, but I know some guys who do. So really, start thinking about what else can I do. I know some guys that have like landscaping businesses, or they convert their dumpsters to use a vacuum and suck leaves into them. So leading up to that winter time, they're actually loading the dumpsters full of leaves. I know in some areas with a lot of snow, like Colorado, all those other things, they're actually hauling snow, which is pretty cool in my opinion. That they haul it from one space to another, because there's only so many places you can push snow before it builds up in a parking lot and you can't do anything with it. And that's for free. I mean, I'm under the assumption that they take that snow and they put it somewhere for free, and they don't, have a dump site for snow. Like if you've got your own land somewhere and you can haul snow away and then get paid for it, that'd be pretty sweet. So for me, no, it doesn't slow down to the point that, oh my gosh, I need another job, or oh, this isn't sustainable, because I have multiple sources of income. My mortgage lending, my rental properties, and my dumpsters. So to me, it's okay. But to you guys who are trying to make this a full-time thing, be prepared. Have another thing. Your side hustle and your side hustle and your side hustle. That's kind of what happens when you go out on your own when you start. Especially in a business like this. And plus, you've got the equipment. I just dropped off that dumpster. You've got the equipment to do all kinds of stuff. Why not utilize it? You got the truck, you got the trailer. Don't think just trash. Think recycled. Think landscaping. Think gravel. Think everything you can. Anything you can do to make a buck, figure it out. I'm actually headed to go get my shipping container trailer that has all of my stuff on it, because I'm actually doing the Redneck Slate. If you watched in one of my last videos, I'm doing a toy drive, and I'm trying to fill an entire 20-foot shipping container, which is equivalent to about a 50-yard dumpster. It's going to be a pretty incredible feat, because the year before, in 11 days, we filled up a 14-yard dumpster. So got a little bit extra time, so I'm going to try to fill up the entire shipping container. And it's awesome because the people in my area already know that I'm doing it. And I think about 40, 50 people already shared a post on Facebook that I'll be doing it. Today I'll be letting people know that I'm going to be hanging out in the Lowe's parking lot, which is right next to our Kohl's, our TJ Maxx, our Old Navy. It's pretty much one of the only shopping centers we have left, retail. And then I have people sending me gifts from all over. People from out of state that I know, people I don't know. They're just sending gifts to my house via Amazon, and it's pretty sweet. So I get to just add them to the Redneck Slate, the container. But there goes my buddy and his snowplow. A lot of guys are getting ready. I don't even know if snow's in the forecast, but I've noticed guys have been driving around with their snowplow. I mean, the guy that just drove by, he had 4 or 5 of them. He's killing it every year. I know he just got a new set, but I mean, he's selling a used snowplow for $6,000, $6,000. And it seems like a lot, but then if you actually look to see what people charge, don't be one of those guys that's like, I'm gonna charge like $50 to plow this entire Walmart parking lot. There's some serious skill that these guys have, or not skill, but strategy when it comes to bidding these jobs, where some of the guys are bidding the jobs and they essentially make more money if no snow happens at all, because they set up a contract with these corporate companies where they pay them X amount, whether it snows or not. They're basically on call to have that parking lot clear at all times. Within X amount of hours of a heavy snow, that entire parking lot better be completely clear. So when it doesn't snow, they don't waste their time and they don't waste their equipment. They don't break anything. They don't use any salt. They don't pay any employees if they've got 2 or 3 trucks going. So keep that in mind. If you're interested in that snow plowing business to add on to your dumpster business, really research how people bid those, because the money isn't in the go knock on the door and get paid 20 bucks for this driveway. Although, I mean, if you've got, 50, 100 driveways, yeah, you're gonna make money. I see guys do them with 4-wheelers all the time. That's pretty cool. But if you're really trying to get into the big money, you got to look into those big parking lots. And I see guys show up with their tractors, their 4-wheelers, their trucks, their skidsters. They turn it into a full-fledged operation. So you can make an entire year's salary in a couple months doing snow plowing if you do it right. Sorry to go back to that. But anyway, I'm going to go head home. I'm cutting this video a little short. I haven't had too much time lately with the holidays and family visiting and everything else. But it just kind of hit me in the head. I'm like, man, it is cold outside. I'm dreading this time of year where equipment starts to run slower. Your hydraulics are slower. You're worried about the conditions of the road. You need to think about where you're driving. Is there a hill up here? Is it icy? Because you can't do anything once the dumpster's pushing you from behind and you're going down a hill and somebody breaks in front of you. You gotta be really conscious when you're driving. There's no just like asleep at the wheel type feeling this time of year. Make sure you're plugging your stuff in. Like I said, my trailer's running a little slow today. It's not doing as well as I thought it would. So I need to go plug it in. Batteries will crap out on you. That remote that I have, for whatever reason, never wants to work when it's under like 30 degrees. My remote never wants to work. So I have to plug in that controller, which is fine, but I'd much rather have the remote so I can kind of have my hands free and, jump in and out of the truck and use it from in the truck. Your batteries will crap out on you, so make sure you're charging them. I actually carry a spare with the tools to actually swap out batteries if I have to. Make sure if you have a diesel that you're actually adding an additive to your fuel, so you don't end up like one of those guys who's going down the road and you get 10 feet from your driveway and you're all gelled up. And if you don't know what that means, it means your diesel fuel has actually gelled and hardened and you can't get it through the injectors and it's not working. I knew a car dealer, a legitimate car dealer, who I bought a diesel truck from once, who didn't know that was a thing. Hundreds and hundreds of diesel trucks he sold, and he did not know it was a thing. And he posted on Facebook, I would not have admitted this as a car dealer, that he didn't know that diesels could gel up. Granted, it was in a lower section of Missouri. It didn't always get that cold, but that's something you really should know if you're selling hundreds of diesel trucks. I'm sorry. So plug in your truck. So if it's got a heater, plug in your truck so just in the morning it fires right up, especially you 7.3 guys. Been there, done that. It seems like it's 45 degrees and that truck just... It sounds awesome in the morning. It sounds like a jet engine in your driveway. But outside of that, make sure everything's plugged in. Make sure you got spares. Make sure you got everything you need. I would definitely say pack warm clothes. I know this is kindergarten stuff, guys, but you'd be shocked. You're just like, oh, I'm just going out. I'm just going out, and it's no big deal. Now, that happened to me last year. I was towing a dumpster, and I had an issue with a crankshaft position sensor on my 7.3 truck, believe it or not. And I was on the highway, and it completely crapped out. It was a combination of that and low oil. And it was something I had just taken care of a couple days before, so I wasn't worried about it. Didn't have spares for the crankshaft position sensor, which if you have a 7.3, you know that's a common issue. I didn't have my spare on me. I didn't have extra oil. And I'm running down the road, and my car dies, or my truck dies, and it's about 10 degrees outside, and I'm sitting on the highway, and I had very crappy signal and 3% battery. Worst case scenario ever. I called one buddy, and he's like, I can be there, but it's gonna be about an hour. And I said, that's fine. Click, the call dropped. And the whole time I'm just sitting there thinking, wow, I really hope he is gonna show up, and he's not expecting me to call him back because I had no battery left. And cool, it was actually a cousin of mine. It was awesome. He showed up, but it was about an hour later, and I did start to get very cold in my truck. So be prepared for those types of things. Business slows down. Business gets a little harder right now. So just think ahead, guys. That's all this video is about. I'm gonna go get my sleigh set up. I'm gonna try to get some gifts for this toy drive, and I'm gonna drop it off to Shaddock. It's like a foster care / education place here in my hometown. So I'm gonna try to do a little bit for the community. So I hope you are thinking about those things too this holiday season. But have a good one. Enjoy it. Stay warm. I hate all of you in Texas. I hate all of you in Florida that don't even have to worry about this, but it is what it is. Have a good one, guys. Until next time.